What is up? Welcome back to our first time homebuyer programs. Today we're going to be talking about a very cool program called the Down Payment Assistance Program. This helps you out with a down payment and closing costs when maybe you have good credit and you have a good job, but you haven't necessarily saved up for a down payment or closing costs. So this is a way to let good borrowers without savings get into a home right away. So let's go check out all the details. Okay, so the Down Payment Assistance Program actually runs through Utah Housing. So this is encouragement from the government here in Utah to get good borrowers, like I was saying in the beginning, without a down payment, without savings, into a home. They know that real estate and families owning real estate helps the economy as a whole. So they want good borrowers, people with good credit, people with good income, good job to get into homes, because that only bolsters the economy. And I mean, it's the American dream. I know it's a cliche, but it really is the American dream. And there's a reason for that. People want a place to call home. And this is a way to make it more accessible to all of those people who maybe just haven't had the time or the circumstances to start saving for a home just yet. So typically the down payment assistance program is coupled with an FHA loan, which requires 3.5% down. So 3.5% down for a $350,000 house would be running you just over 12 grand. So that's no small sum of money. And like I was saying before, not everyone has the right circumstances just yet to maybe have saved up that amount of money. So what the Down Payment Assistance Program does is it helps cover that and the closing costs on top of that. We'll talk about the typical cost of closing costs here in a minute. But the way it works is that you get a loan like you typically would on the $350,000 and you lock in your interest rate, whatever it is. Like rates are going really well right now, so if you have good credit and you have good income, you're probably going to be sitting somewhere around a 3, below, maybe a tiny bit above. So the way that the down payment assistance works though is that it comes in as a second mortgage on the sum of the down payment and the closing costs. But what's cool about this, it's not like you're going to be making two different payments. It all gets lumped into one payment to whoever you get the loan from. Because I know personally, if I had to make a payment here, a payment there, that just makes things really confusing. But they make it really easy and they lump it all into one, even though it technically counts as a second mortgage or a second lien on the home, on the property there. But let's jump back a little bit to closing costs. So when you go out and get a mortgage or a loan to purchase a home, whoever you go through charges a fee. And that fee can range anywhere from 2 to 5% of the gross amount of the purchase price of the home. So for a $350,000 home, let's say averaged out just 2 to 3%, you're going to be in the range of $7,000 to $10,000 in closing costs. Those closing costs get wrapped up into that down payment assistance program. Typically, to be safe with this program, you want to be able to ask the seller for help with some closing costs. Anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000 in closing costs from the seller should shore up all of the costs and make sure that you don't come out of pocket for any of these closing costs or down payment. And I do know from personal experience that even in this market, it is possible to get seller to give some concessions to make sure that you don't come out of pocket for those closing costs when you structure it with the down payment assistance program. So to kind of put it into an example, at that $350,000 purchase price, you have that first loan out, and that's the first lien on the house. The second one, if you add those costs together, so let's say the down payment was a little over 12 grand, and then you add in the closing costs at about $7,000, you're up into the 19.5, plus the down payment assistance program, for their work in underwriting the loan and all that, add tax on an extra 2 grand. It's called a warehouse fee. That's what you'll see on your closing disclosure. So add another 2,000, you're sitting just over 20 grand there. So that 21 grand will come in as a second lien on the property. And again, it's not two separate payments. It's lumped into one, even though when you look on title, there's two different liens on the property. Another thing to keep in mind is with this down payment assistance program is that second lien has a typically a 1 to 2% higher interest rate than the original lending amount. So you might say, wow, that's quite a jump there. But to keep in mind is that it's on a much smaller sum of money, so that interest doesn't rack up quite as fast as it would if you had the same 1 to 2% higher interest rate on your first lending amount of $350,000. The key to keep in mind with this program though is that you want to refinance out of it in probably 2 years or as soon as you can. The way you do that is just by making on-time payments, and if you can, you make more of a payment than you really need to, more than the minimum payment. This way you create more equity in the home faster. So the reason you'd want to do that to create more equity in the home is because typically when you go out and refinance, lending institutions won't lend on 100% of the value of the home. They'll lend, it depends on the institution, but anywhere from 80 to 85, whatever it might be, percent of the value of the home. So you want to be able to create that equity in the home so that you can go get it refinanced and not have to come with any cash out of pocket to refinance the home and lock in a better rate for the whole purchase price for 30 years. Okay guys, that's really all I need to know about the down payment assistance program. I hope you learned something, and if you have any questions that I didn't cover in this video, please reach out to me. My number is there in the video, my email as well, so you can give me a phone call, you can text me, or you can email me. I'll make sure to respond in whichever way that you reach out to me and get your question answered. But thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the Wasatch Front Living YouTube channel. We put out cool content and good information about real estate every single week. And if you subscribe, you get notified when we put out a video so you don't miss out on anything. And I'm sure you guys know by now, but I'm a realtor here in Utah. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home, please reach out to me. I'd love to help you in either situation. I'm a hard worker, and I'll make sure to go to bat for you and your family to make sure you get the best deal in either scenario. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next week. See you later.